Learning Hungarian. A few years ago I met a lovely girl from Hungary. We fell in love and we married. We decided to live in Hungary, so I was challenged with having to learn the language as soon as possible. I had the possibility to start learning the basics of the language in England at a local evening school from native speakers, but there was only one lesson a week for 2 years, which didn't seem to be very much. So when we finally came here to live in Budapest, I couldn't speak fluently, just the basics, no more. Fortunately, I had the possibility to begin working in Hungary as soon as I arrived, working for a company which makes television sets. I'm an engineer by profession, so it was possible to arrange the job beforehand and start straight away. There was quite a funny incident when I first arrived at work, as the woman in the personnel department asked me to sit down and I couldn't understand her. They got me a place working in the technology department, where I had an older colleague who could also speak German. I speak a little German, so we could talk, and also a little bit in Hungarian. In the beginning they couldn't find anything for me to do there, so even though I was an employee of this company and went to the factory every day, I didn't really have any function there. So I enjoyed myself and talked to my colleagues, and I brought along my Hungarian-English dictionary and used the time to develop my Hungarian. After half a year, one colleague left the department and I had to take over his job, which included telephoning, writing letters and going to the countryside to talk to other employees of the company who were situated there. It was a very difficult time for me, but I couldn't have had a better school than the time I spent there when I arrived. Of course, I constantly made lots of mistakes, but my colleagues helped me. I often had to talk to the other technicians and the workers there in the factory, and also with the staff who were working to my instructions. I also had to prepare operational plans for them to work to, and they were very helpful to me in pointing out my mistakes and rectifying them. After a few years of working there, I became fairly fluent in Hungarian, and now I am able to translate between Hungarian and English, and use Hungarian in my everyday life. But this is thanks to having received so much help. I still don't often speak with my wife in Hungarian, as she speaks English very fluently, very well. But most of our friends are Hungarian, so I use Hungarian a lot in social life. Sometimes I go to theatres and cinemas in Hungarian, and I can understand most of what the people are saying. But I still make mistakes. Very often I try to translate directly from my own language, and end up making words and sentences that make absolutely no sense in Hungarian. It's a slow process learning a new language, but I'm continually encouraged as I find myself able to understand more and more words and handle them better myself.